right. Yes. Welcome to Tangents of Horror. Yeah, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Steven. And we're reviewing another good one. Lars von Trier. Trier.
Lars von Trier. There you go.
Oh. Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
Antichrist.
Yes.
And I'm not just calling you that, Brandon. It's the movie we're reviewing.
It's true. That is what we're reviewing.
Sometimes I look at you and that word appears in my head, but I don't let it out. I just think about Willem Dafoe and his great ass.
And his penis.
Okay.
Shout out to Matt Dill for requesting this.
Matt Dill, thank you for showing me Willem's... Mad Dill.
It's mad.
It's not...
It's madness.
Mad Dill?
Yeah, and then we put his request in the box that we have not named. The box that shall not be named.
You ever open a jar, take out a pickle, and go, damn, that's a Mad Dill?
I do now.
Willem Dafoe's...
Penis.
I was trying to think of a better word to use. I almost said front.
Front?
Willem
Frontage?
Dafoe's frontage.
His frontus?
His
frontus.
His frontussy is phenomenal.
Fun fact, it's not his penis.
Ever?
No.
That's a
He
shame.
wanted it to be.
Okay.
You want to know the story?
Yes.
I thought it was a joke because I actually saw it in a YouTube video.
Yeah. Don't tell me it's
and then
his agent.
and then I read it on IMDb as well.
His
no,
wife?
he wanted to be in all those scenes.
Yeah.
But then when he dropped Trow, the director and like producers saw what they were working with, and they were like, "It's too big.
Yeah,
it's too much to work with."
That's right.
So they got a stunt cock.
Oh,
stunt cock
to make it more average and approachable.
I guess
that wasn't for you. That's not what you thought from the penis double.
It was a penis,
and what a literal.
There was a fake penis too.
What a literal cock block they did to Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, right.
He could have been having great time on set with some of these scenes.
But yeah, this stars Willem Dafoe and Charlotte Gainsbourg or Burge. Bourge.
You got to say more French.
Bourge. I'm not good at.
Charlotte Gainsbourg, like the bourgeoisie.
She is also in the other two movies that are part of the trilogy that this is in, which is like the
trilogy.
The sad, the desperate,
the desperate depression.
No. The what?
Depression.
Yeah, that's the one. The D trilogy.
The D puss.
What? No, that's the third movie.
Yeah. Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Nymphomaniac.
Oh, that's
right in the title.
That's right.
And they all have Charlotte Gainsbourg in it.
Yeah.
In them. I don't think she's the main character in the second one. I actually read the synopsis on the second one. The whole movie takes place during a wedding or something, while another planet is about to crash into the Earth.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great.
That's very interesting.
I trust the director with that.
I'm hoping there's aliens in it. I don't know if we can watch those ones unless we have a Patreon, because they're not very horrific.
They aren't horrific, but this movie isn't horror.
I don't know, the third act of this one, so maybe we should get into it.
We open with a wonderful shower scene.
With a prologue.
And not a prolapse, thankfully.
Because they even say, because this is split up into chapters with that chalkboard, which you pointed out might be her chapters.
Right.
Which is kind of cool. I didn't see it that way.
Yeah.
Not the first time, but that was like, you know what I mean?
Well, the whole overarching anxiety sort of driving plot line.
Yeah, we open with a perfume commercial. I mean, a sex scene.
That you thought was shot a lot like a perfume commercial.
Yeah, that people used to make fun of in the 90s, where it's
Wouldn't you say shampoo more? They're in the shower.
Well, maybe no. Well, no, because like all the old like fragrance commercials were always black and white.
Yeah,
they were always crisp. They always looked good for some reason, and it was always like. Because what's that music that was playing? Was it like opera music? Sort of, I guess?
It was classical in a way.
Yeah, like classical, new age classical opera. And then it's always like people like kissing or something. It's always like show her, or like a diamond commercial too. Yeah.
He got it from K's.
It's like ooh, la di da, blah blah blah, new fragrance, falling baby.
Deal, a baby is dead.
But yeah, it's them having sex it's quite a long
6 minutes. I was thinking today.
Possibly.
I was thinking
we should have checked that because it's all slow motion too. Yeah. So it feels long.
It's probably actually
like really long. I'm not
2 minutes, but since we watched it in 3.3 times speed.
It was actually interesting because there's a lot of shots of really just normal shit.
Yeah.
done really well. Like I want to say ceiling fan, but it was on the wall for whatever reason. Maybe they do that in different countries. But when you see the smoke or not the smoke, the mist that they're creating from the shower, it's just like slowly going into it.
Yep.
And then there was the part where he's kicking the scale on the floor, all in slow motion. And it just shows them all over the house having sex in slow motion.
And then
the baby wakes up.
Young Nicholas goes to take a peek.
I'm sorry, that was fucking hilarious.
When he took a peek and turned around on the camera,
must have, because obviously they had something else there that he was looking at. It must have been funny because he looks around, he smirks at the camera.
Well, because he knows, he's like, all right. He's like, he asked his casting director. He's like, what is the scene actually? What am I going to be looking at? And she's like, okay, don't tell anyone, but you're going to be watching porn, and that was his first take where he's like, holy
and they
shit.
Just used the first take.
Yeah, they're like, that's perfect.
I like it.
They like the real reaction from him because when he eventually smirked back at the camera and jumped out a window, that was real fucking shock in slow motion as he fell out of the window, which I was saying while we were watching it that I think they actually like pulled something from underneath him just to get that fear.
Yeah, no, that was really well done. Even when he hits the ground, it's pretty intense.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And then I think at this point is when it changes to Chapter 1. Grief. And we get the funeral where both parents... by the way, their names are she and he in the movie.
Him and her.
Is it him and her?
I believe so.
No, because it says he at the one point when we were watching it with subtitles.
You're saying it's he and she?
Yeah.
And not him and her?
Yeah. Either, like, same shit.
It makes more biblical sense if it's him and her. Wink. Antichrist. No. Wink.
No, he and she makes more sense.
You never read a Bible in your life. Wink.
Oh, I went to Catholic school.
What?
At one point.
You didn't read a Bible
I had a first communion.
Oh, you're christened.
Yeah. I mean, I was baptized.
You're an anointed one.
Yeah.
Wow. So you might have secret powers you don't know about.
Ooh, I'm an X-Man.
What's your power? I think religion. I don't know. They just performed some ritual on me, and all of a sudden,
I turned water into wine.
Oh, that's great.
That's why
you're such a drunk.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge drunk.
Huge drunk.
Excuse me a second.
Yeah. Guys, he just drank wine out of his own piss.
I actually hate wine.
So,
not a monster.
She faints.
Yeah, she just passes out.
At the funeral.
He's crying his eyes out.
And he didn't notice for the first couple seconds because he was in his own head.
Well, yeah.
But then the blurred out faces.
That was a good fall.
Yeah.
She just dropped.
The no faces behind him started making some noise, I guess, and then he went over.
Yeah, that was an interesting choice to do. Every other person in this movie other than Nick, the child, and he and she, everyone else is blurred out.
I have a funny thought, actually, as to why.
Why?
Because there's only 3 credited actors in this movie.
Oh, you think all the other people didn't know what they were doing?
No. You don't have to pay them. You don't have to credit them. There's literally 3 names in the credits for the actors. Was there? I would imagine.
I don't remember. Because there's a...
There you go. Well, stars we have, but...
Yeah.
There's not going to be any other section. No supporting actors.
Well, because there's only 2 other scenes where there's...
Different faces.
Lots of other people that you don't see their faces.
Yeah.
Basically in the beginning.
I think 3 scenes I remember, no? Or 2?
Just 2. The funeral and then at the end.
We didn't see any hospital staff, did we? Because she goes to the hospital right after this fall. There's no doctor? No, we don't.
No, he mentions a doctor. Yeah, I don't remember if we see one or not.
That's right.
So yeah, she faints and then it's the next... No, it's not the next chapter. It's still the same chapter.
Yeah. Next day.
She wakes up... No, she wakes up in the hospital. Remember, it's like a month later.
Oh, that's right.
Remember, he's like, how you doing? And she's like, didn't you just ask me that? And he's like, that was yesterday.
Yeah.
She's like, how long have I been here? And he's like, it's been about a month now.
Yeah. Wow.
Damn. And he's like, I don't like all of these pills that the doctor's giving you. I don't like doctors. And she's like, of course you don't.
Yeah.
I kind of got that he was a therapist or some sort of in the field, but not a full doctor.
He's not a fan of medicine.
Maybe a dentist, I don't know. Foot doctor, something.
Pediatrist.
But then he takes her on as his patient, which I don't think, even she says it's a bad idea.
A little conflict of interest, I'm sure. But you got someone you love. You're not going to let it, if you have the tools to fix her.
Is it legal to do that?
He's not paying. He's not charging. So there's no contract being signed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just talking. It's just talking. Can words really be that harmful, Brandon?
I don't know.
That you want to put a law on it? How dare you?
I don't know. That log looked pretty painful. So
that was not a word. It was an object.
Oh, well, log is a word.
More bark than its bite.
Yeah, he wants to take her on it. I'm trying not to lose myself. There's so much in this movie.
No, but you were probably thinking really hard about the more bark than bite, because that was a really good, quick little log joke, and it ties in what we were talking about.
It's true. It was a good tie-in. And at this point,
he tells his wife to stop popping all those pills.
Yes, and then she starts saying, "Oh, the death was my fault." And he's like, "What about me?" And of course, this is foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Don't shrug.
It's a normal thing to say. I'm saying in the circumstance rather than something off-putting that sets up something for the future.
Well,
any character would say that.
That's what I mean, but it does end up being foreshadowing.
Yeah. Oh, and I was wondering if you did pick up on that. So interesting.
Well, yeah, because she's not telling the whole truth. Because I forget the reason why. What she says is very typical of what she would have said. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because she talks about, I knew he was getting up from his crib and walking around and whatever.
And that the window was broken or something. Yeah.
But that's all she says.
Yeah.
And then, of course, later on we find out a lot more.
Yeah.
That even goes back further than that incident.
Yeah, she is her own son, and she body controlled herself in the body and then phased out at the last second so she wouldn't die.
Yeah, 'cause she's a ghost.
She's a ghost.
This is actually the prequel to The Sixth Sense.
Yep.
Yep. No, we don't know who sees dead people, though. It doesn't tell us.
I see bed people.
At one point, we see Dafoe get the medical report or whatever.
Yeah, the coroner's.
He shoves it in his pocket.
Yeah. Because he doesn't want to face his fears, and why?
Well, because he's going through the same shit.
Well, he knows all the answers.
Well, that's what I mean. That's probably another reason why it's not a good idea for him to be taking on this role with his wife, because he's going through the exact same shit. So, and we do see by proof, because at a couple points she tries to have sex with him. He says, no, you shouldn't have sex with your therapist, and I'm your husband, obviously. Yeah. But then he gives into it. Yeah. And if he wasn't her husband, it's just, and then it's harder.
The dynamic is a lot more complicated when you add more roles into the relationship, guys. This is what you can take away from Willem.
He's good Willem.
Good Willem. This has been another good Willem classic. He says sleeping with your therapist is immoral.
It is.
Because she was just using it as when she felt anxiety as a way to feel another extreme so that she can kind of forget about her anxiety temporarily. Mm-hmm. And he was kind of keying into that and saying, you're just using it as a tool, but also I'm a horn dog, so I can't hold back.
Yeah, there's the really cool shot when she's having the anxiety attack in bed, and you see like the clips of the heavy breathing and the... Yeah.
He starts going into explaining the physicality of feeling anxiety.
Dry mouth, heavy breathing, nausea,
pulse increase,
dizzy spells. Yeah. And then at one point she's she even because we don't really have much background on these characters. Mm-hmm. And the only real background we get at this point is that because a lot of it is the first half of the movie is them just having a bunch of conversations, basically, because it's just the two of them.
Just a couple.
And one of the conversations is that he was distant for the last 3 years.
So she claims.
Well, no, it's true. He confirms it, but there's a reason for it.
He doesn't say a word.
Yeah, he does. He says, well, I gave you space because you wanted to go away.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
He didn't go away. So he has an
excuse.
That's why I said so she claims, because there's more to the story.
Exactly.
I don't quite buy it.
Well,
he's being a good husband.
Well, this just connects into her kind of way of seeing things.
Oh, women.
No. That's just fucking stupid. She's just crazy.
Always nagging him. Oh, man. That's what Fred Flintstone thought, I'm sure.
Well, no, she doesn't really nag him that much in the first bit anyway. Even at this point, she's not nagging.
She's very thankful. She's very apologetic and thankful.
Well, and even when she's saying he's distant, she's very quiet. She's like, you were very distant even last summer. And then she even says that was the last summer you would have had with your son.
Yep.
Well, now thinking about it, it is almost kind of like her, because it almost, when you find out later, she almost has like two personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Like she kind of switches, and it's almost like it's that peeking out because she likes to take jabs at him. I find.
Yeah.
And that's just like a little to start it.
I'm burping. I understood that as a result of the anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Where I forgot what experiment. Has he started the experiments already?
In the house? No, because they're not at the cabin yet.
The psychological experiments and sort of his role, other than the breathing exercises.
Oh, yeah, from the anxiety.
Pyramid. Has that popped up yet?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Anxiety shots.
But it all ties in together at the very least.
They talk about how the fear can't harm you. So, yeah, I think it's around here because he starts talking about what she's afraid of.
Yes. Yeah, that's the whole.
And then that's when he starts the triangle.
I called it a pyramid.
Pyramid, triangle. One's just a 3D shape of the other.
Of the other is crazy.
Can I just be afraid without... Oh, yeah, because she says, can I be afraid without a definite subject?
Yeah. Yeah, because he was asking her what it is she's most afraid of, and she couldn't answer. And then he changed the question to, where are you most afraid?
Yeah, that came later when he had to
that was the next day.
About it.
Yeah,
because she starts self-harming that night. She's like smacking her head on the toilet.
She was getting nauseous, was it?
I think she was just self-harming.
Oh, so it wasn't even for a reason.
I think it started with her being nauseous, but then she was starting to have another fit and feel sorry for herself. And
I hate throwing up, so I get that a lot.
That's when they break the rule.
Yeah,
I don't mind throwing up.
See,
I just get it out. Get it out.
Oh, get it out.
I get it out.
Oh, boy. Oh, just get it out. Sound like fucking Yogi Bear.
That just sounded Canadian.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I'm choking. Hello.
Hi. Toilets.
Toilets, bang your head. Yeah, no, when I throw up, it's like it hurts sometimes. It comes out my nose almost frequently. It's not fun for me.
Because you're holding it.
Yeah, I'm not good at letting go.
Well, just gotta let it go, man. At one point, he does do the hypnotherapy. This is before they go to the forest.
On the train?
Because this is what... No. Wait, is that on the train?
Yes, sir.
So it's on the way to the forest.
Yes.
How do they...
So...
Oh, no, because that... So they have sex. He says it was a mistake, and then he comes up with the question...
Yeah,
where are you afraid of?
Yeah.
And because that's when he puts in the pyramid Eden, in which we find out...
That's what she says. She says, I'm afraid.
She says the woods first.
Yeah, the woods.
And then he kind of, what would you call that? He asks questions to narrow it down.
Yes, yeah.
I'm sure there's a technical therapist word for that.
Basically, interrogates.
I was going to say, it's basically an interrogate. And Eden is the place that she had gone to the previous summer to do a thesis. Yeah. Which we also find out that he wasn't against her doing the thesis, but he didn't really agree with it. Yeah. What was the word she used? Glib.
Oh.
She's like, you said it was... I think that was when they were in bed. Yeah, you said it was
glib, and he's like, well, I didn't say that. And she's like, well, basically you did.
That was in bed, right?
That was when they're sitting on the ground. When, no. That's when she was accusing him of not caring about her son's death.
So that was later?
During that conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a weird word.
Yeah, but she's
it's
probably,
a good word.
I think she's like an English major or something. I don't fucking know. She seemed very well written and spoken.
That would make sense. Yeah. And they don't say what the thesis is at this point,
yes,
right?
We find out up there.
Yeah, when he goes to the attic where she's hiding, which is a weird place to...
She's a little maniac.
Have all that. Is she? Is that what she is? Yeah.
She's a maniac.
So they find out that it's Eden, and he's like, yeah, we should go there. And then they have a tickle fight.
Yeah, and then go...
yeah, and then she bites him.
She rips his nipple off.
Too hard.
And he goes, ow, babe, stop.
Maybe a little bit more foreshadowing.
Because she loves his nipples.
It was above his nipple, though.
Oh, was it?
That would have hurt on the nipple, because there was some blood.
I'm so sensitive there,
I've never had a bleeding nipple. I'm not that sensitive, but it's just, ow.
Don't bite my breast, they're sensitive.
This is when they start going to the cabin.
Yeah.
Another fucking cabin in the woods. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mad Dill.
Well, it's a good
way to mix it up.
You isolate the characters.
It's true. It's true.
No one can help you.
Unfortunately.
And they have to rely on their own wit.
I know I keep saying foreshadowing, cause it's only because I watched it twice. There's way too much foreshadowing of that fucking foxhole. Because it shows it in one of her flashbacks. It shows it when they get there. It shows it in another scene. It shows it in like 4 scenes before four. Before he finds it and crawls in.
Okay. I don't think it was
I didn't notice it the first time.
I think it has just as much set piece as the dead tree.
They showed it more than the dead tree.
Maybe one.
Because they showed the dead tree like twice. Because then it was a different tree that she runs out to and they do the nasty and the arms come out.
The bramble.
The bramble?
That's what I'm going to call it. Because it looks like bramble.
What's a bramble?
Couldn't tell you.
Sounds pretty glib to me.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Well, I did.
Okay, well, I wouldn't. So fucking quit it.
Oh, man. Did you see the faces in the forest?
Was it his?
And hers, I think.
Okay.
And like mushing together and stuff, I think.
Yeah,
they were like...
Well, we must say, throughout this entire flick, it is... We must say throughout this entire flick, there was just phenomenal cinematography. Like masterclass level shit.
And it was all over the place.
Yeah, they're changing lenses halfway through shots.
In a good way, though. Because, like, what part was it? Like, at one point, I think it's later on, but it goes from, like, the opening scene is, like, so fucking crisp, high definition, slow motion.
Yeah.
Although there are a few too many slow motion scenes, I'm not going to lie. But then there'd be like wide shots later on, the train scene where the trees are going by, where the trees are tripping out.
Yeah.
But then it wasn't afraid to all of a sudden turn into like shaky cam.
Yes.
Like it looked like a handheld camera all of a sudden.
There was cool handheld camera shots later on, and I think they only appeared in like halfway through the second act and on, where it was just like Office.
Basically when he was alone.
Yeah, it was The Office, and they would do fucking handy cam zoom-ins, and Jim would look at the camera and smile.
Or when he's like on the ground and he's like trying to get away, we'll get there later. Yeah. But like it starts getting as if really someone's shaky. Following him with a shaky cam.
Yeah, they throw in some POVs where right when she was in the toilet self-harming, she did a POV, I think, or no, when she dumped the pills.
The cinematography was insanely done. Yeah. I'm actually going
screenplay by the same director.
Antichrist. Anthony Dodd Manty.
What'd you call me?
Mantle. Anthony Dodd Mantle. Fucking crazy.
Wow.
Great job.
Oh, he did cinematography on Snowden.
Nice.
Maybe he's anti-government.
I don't know.
Maybe.
You should ask him.
I will. I'm going to call him right now.
On your next picnic.
How do you know I have picnics with Anthony Dodd?
Who wouldn't?
You're right.
That's what I'm saying.
You're right. He's a smart guy. I love to pick his brain.
We're going to Eden. I just want to...
We are?
Yeah.
And let's go. How are we getting there?
Apparently a long fucking walk.
No, it's a train first.
Well, first. We talked about the train.
No, you just said he hypnotizes her. And she explained... But the set pieces she explains...
This part, when he hypnotizes her, that's another thing. It almost looked like half animated. Like, even how she's moving, because, like, her legs are still, and it almost looks like she's just moving, and then all of a sudden her legs are... like.
I see. While she's walking through the forest.
Yeah, when everything's like really bright.
Yeah.
But then the...
all black and white again.
Yeah, I almost want to watch some behind the scenes, if there are any, of how those things were, if they were animated. It looked half and half.
It looked like some really weird perspective shots where like the foreground is on a different plate and she's on a different plate, lighted different up.
And then if you looked at...
English.
I know. Well, that's what I mean. It's so hard to...
We're not filmmakers. And they want us to explain how film made?
We'll go see it.
Go see it, guys.
This one is literally... These scenes are hard because it looks very dreamlike. They got that across perfectly.
Yep.
It almost looks like some parts of the screen aren't even moving. That's what I mean. I think some of it, like maybe the forest around it is animated. I don't know. It's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite part of the entire movie was the cinematography,
very
to
pretty.
be honest. But yeah, they're on the train. They get to the cabin, and it's a long walk.
Yeah,
it's like over the hills and through the woods to the fucking cabin. I'm gonna get the shit kicked out of me. We go.
Yeah, I hope the big bad wolf isn't in town.
Right?
Wink.
And she gets scared on the way there.
Yeah, she gets spooked.
Like I guess the closer they get,
Yeah, well, the ground gets hot under her feet. You know how it is.
And we also get, because this chapter is called Grief, we get introduced to the character of Grief.
That was me doing Grief, by the way.
Oh. I
The
hope you're
character
okay.
Grief?
Yeah, the deer.
Oh, the deer. Well, the deers.
Well, it wasn't alive anymore. The deer was pooping out? I don't think that was alive.
I still call cow a cow, even if it's on my plate.
No, that's beef. You
Shit.
crazy.
What do you call cooked deer done?
I don't know.
So she takes a nap.
Why is that?
Why? Pig to pork, cow to beef?
And then everything else, what, we
You
just
want to
got
know
lazy?
why?
Because we don't eat it enough?
No. Well, yes. Because of capitalism. Because it would be bad to brand it as an animal. So they had to make up a different word so it doesn't sound as bad. Fish sounds healthy, though. So we're fine with
because fish is Christian. Every
Oh,
Friday
that's
you're
right.
supposed to eat
Yeah.
fish.
So
that's okay.
Fine, yeah, fish. But cow, beef, pig, pork.
You learn something new every day.
Chicken sounds always great.
Mm-hmm,
They made fried chicken early or something. I don't know how they used to serve chicken, but that was great. And Mr. KFC, yeah, he's been around since what? He looks like fucking...
He used to live around here.
Oh, didn't he?
Yeah,
The
historical
Colonel?
fact. You can look at it. It's on Wikipedia.
Jesus.
He lived in Mississauga,
Oh my God.
right?
The Colonel.
So yeah, they're walking to the cabin. She gets tired though. They have to take a little nap.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to take a little power nap. And then...
They're not very safe people.
No,
I'm
because-
sorry, but this is what I thought through the whole movie. Every time they're like doing shit in the forest, I'm like, dude, there's like animals that could like kick your ass, and you're just sleeping.
Were you going to say kick your shit in? I saw you change it. Dude, there's animals going to kick your fucking shit in, dude.
I mean, I don't know where it's located, but
Yeah.
like there could be bears,
Kangaroo.
meese,
Yeah,
like lots of moose.
Yeah. No, lots of mice.
That too.
There's mouse, mice, and meese.
Well, we know there are foxes. They could bite your butt,
Yeah.
right?
Fox could bite
And
your
it was
butt.
eating itself. That's later, but
Yeah.
it's true. If it's
Yeah.
gonna eat itself, it can eat you.
Yeah. They're just hungry.
I'm hungry.
Oh, Henry?
Oh, Henry. Yeah, so she falls asleep, and he's just like chilling there, walking around. And then he sees a deer,
Yeah.
and the deer turns around, and outside of its
Yeah.
its hole.
It's outer hole?
Yeah.
That's right. I'm not going to help you.
That's fine.
Call it what it is.
is a poor baby deer hanging out.
So to explain that in layman terms, deer got pregnant and gave birth, and unfortunately the birth didn't make it, so the stillbirth was hanging it half inside and half outside the body.
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, that's exactly what you said, actually. Verbatim. I didn't change a word.
I don't like seeing animals like that.
Why did it have to happen?
At least it
That's
wasn't
life.
a dog.
That's what all the people say.
Then we get the next chapter, chapter 2. Do you remember what it was? Don't look at my notes.
Nature is Satan's playground. It's not pain, grief,
Pain.
misery.
Pain for pleasure.
Is that a song?
It is. Sum 41. Canadian band, baby.
Just hanging out with the Colonel. He featured on one of their tracks.
She runs from the bridge because she's scared of the grass.
That's profound.
It's crazy. She bolts it.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, we're almost there. She's like, all right, peace.
You just rewinded like 15 minutes.
Okay.
We already talked about when she
No,
ran.
this is when the chapter starts. They're in the forest. He sees the deer, and then it's the next chapter, and then she wakes up, and they go to the house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does she bolt into the house too? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
'cause
as
he
soon as they
loses
get
her.
to the bridge,
Yeah.
he's like, all right.
Oh,
Because
that was
then
before
later
the
when
bridge?
he does, because then, yeah.
That's right.
Because then later, and this is also when he does the you're going to stand on the rocks, like, because you cheated me. She's like,
Yeah.
I didn't cheat on you. He's like, no, cheated me, stupid. No, he's like, yeah, you just bolted for the cabin. You're not afraid of the cabin.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It's
You're
stupid
afraid about
idiot.
here.
And he spits on
Let's
her.
go.
Yeah.
And that's why she does what she does later.
Yeah. Because she's like, I don't like when you boss me
She
around.
doesn't like grass.
Yeah. And maybe she has a grass allergy.
Phenomenal acting on her part,
Yeah.
though. The way she's like shivering and
Yep.
shake, like her legs
They're both
shaking.
great.
Through the whole movie, these two.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
Mm.
Couldn't get anyone better.
I mean, it's Willem Dafoe. Of course, it's going to be
I
fucking
love
awesome.
my boy
He's a
Willem.
phenomenal
I'd
actor.
fucking eat him if I could.
And I don't think a lot of people know about her because she's only.
I
I
don't.
don't think she's been in any like Hollywood or American
Yeah.
movies. Although a lot of people do know about Nymphomaniac.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
The
I've
one
heard that.
before this,
Yeah.
because what's her name is in. I can't remember her name, but a few act like Shia LaBeouf and Mia Goth is in Nymphomaniac, and probably a few other
Megan
people.
Fox.
No.
Oh, the Transformers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
Close.
Which the director made.
No.
Transformer?
He made a movie called Transformer. It's not The Transformer. Stop being stupid.
You haven't seen it?
That's crazy.
You haven't seen it, so you have no idea.
I do know.
So he makes her go from rock to rock, and she...
I did see it.
So he makes her go from rock to rock. By the way, guys, he outstretched his palm over my forehead like he was casting a spell and said, I did see it. And then I don't know what to do.
I just thought, well, it's funny because you continued talking and then like thought about it. And we're like, you know what? Chapter 2, Pain, gets cabin, cross bridge, walk by tree, foxhole. Oh, they even walk by the damn toolbox. As soon as they get to the cabin, they basically foreshadow what's going to happen.
I didn't realize the toolbox.
Yeah, he walks into the shed, opens the toolbox. It's like, oh, very nice. And then nice. That's what Willem Dafoe sounds like.
Well, now you say this like it's too much foreshadowing.
Not too much, but it basically foreshadows everything. Because he even looks at the pictures of their son very quickly.
Yes.
That comes back.
Yes.
He looks at the toolbox. That comes back. They walk by the foxhole. That comes back.
Now, you see, I'm having trouble because your voice always sounds annoyed, so I never know if you like something when you talk about it or dislike this foreshadowing.
I'm deciding.
Oh.
I'm still decisive on this movie.
Okay. So you personally think in movies that they shouldn't introduce set pieces that they're going to use later, a Chekhov's gun, if you will.
No, they should, but maybe not everything.
Something like, oh, where'd they get the wrench? You know where they got the wrench.
I was just pointing it out because I noticed it. They foreshadowed everything that happens in the third act.
I want
as soon
opinions.
As they get to the
I
cabin.
want hard facts. I want to know what's deeper inside of you. I don't want you just watching the movie and telling me what happened.
Black stuff.
That's what's inside of you? Guts
blood.
and black stuff and blood?
It's pretty cool.
That's kind of metal.
Yeah, it's like human anatomy.
Yeah.
That's right?
Nature.
Nature is Satan's slide. Playground? I forgot what it was. What is it again?
Playground, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Is it?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
You wrote it down. It's your favorite quote.
I'm not on the right page. Playground.
Ours kind of sounds good, though.
It does. If this was like an American slasher 80s movie, that's what they would have called
Satan's Nature's Playground. Nature's.
So they play that game. When she's walking across the grass.
The Saw game in her mind.
Mm-hmm. What did you think the acorns were when that happened? I thought someone was breaking into the cabin and thought they were very nonchalant about it at first.
Rain is kind of what I first thought. I'm like, those are big drops.
That's heavy rain.
You ever get hit by thick rain?
Yeah.
There's been some big drop rain, so I thought it was that.
But I just thought, because at first it kind of sounded like someone breaking in. Just the way he wakes up is just like very. Mm-hmm. If something was happening like that to me, I'd wake up
in a cabin
a little
in the woods
quicker.
Too.
Yeah, but yeah, apparently there's a lot of acorns on that tree too.
Yeah, but that serves another foreshadowing, or a little later on.
That's what I've noticed.
Yeah, she was essentially making it because there was a lot of imagery of like mothers losing their babies and everything in between of what you can drive that metaphor on. So you get the deer with the stillbirth, and then she was also making that in reference to a tree, saying that acorn trees live for 100 years, so they only need to procreate once every 100 years for them to live on as a species. Mm-hmm. And then she says, I hear these acorns. I was up here with Nick, and I was listening to these acorns, and they were reminding me of that truth of like all these acorns that'll never sprout to live, and that things that were meant to die. I believe I remember that correctly.
And I think actually at that point is when we get the flashback of her working on the thesis.
Yes.
And yeah, she's telling him the story about when she lost Nick the first time, and she hears the crying all throughout the forest. And
no matter where she goes, she just hears this baby crying as she's calling for Nick.
Finally finds him basically next door.
In the shed.
I think the shed was basically against the fucking house. It's like right there.
Yeah.
Sitting there playing with what I believe is the log.
Oh. He was playing with it. Yeah,
it was a big piece of wood.
I was looking at his mouth to see if he was crying. He wasn't.
Yeah, that's why I didn't notice the first time. I was looking at the wood, like what he was playing with. Yeah, the second time I watched it twice. When I watched it with Steven, I noticed also that he wasn't crying, and I was like, "Whoa, he's not crying."
The movie makes a lot more sense in your mind, little by little.
Yeah, because she starts listening and then kind of goes back out and looks around for where it is, and it's just basically everywhere. Although when she ran to the bridge, because we had subtitles on, it started to just be behind her. Yes. So it was just basically in the cabin's vicinity.
AOE cabin area of effect.
Yes.
Thank you.
So now they're doing a bunch. It's basically the first part when they're at home, when he's doing the therapy on her in the cabin, but she's starting to go a little bit more.
I was going to say this marks the scene of when she starts to push back.
Yeah, because at one point she starts saying like, "You shouldn't have come here." This is when she says, "Nature is Satan's church."
You remember a lot of what she says, but not what he says. I wonder what that says about you. So he mentions to her after hearing the story all in your head, and it was knows that it was a power. And so at that point marked that my husband thinks I'm crazy, my husband thinks I'm paranoid, and I know this to be real, and what I heard was real.
So this is the part where she starts to snap a little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
The chip in the pot cracks once more.
Was he? Did he say that?
No, I did.
Oh,
just now.
Oh, at one point, why does he have the coat on? And he finds the medical report again, because I think he forgot that he had it.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
and then so he leaves it. Actually, I just realized this. He is right beside the fireplace, and that's where she finds it. So he must have literally taken it out and just put it down right in front of him. She doesn't find it for a good while.
Yeah,
like it's near the end. It falling. Oh yeah, this was one of my favorite shots. When he reads the autopsy report for the first time. Just get that one shot that we literally rewound like 2 times to see all the layers or CGI or whatever you want to call it, of him just standing outside and the acorns falling.
Yeah, acorns just falling with...
I think it was black and white again.
Yes.
Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and he notices...
Because this is when he's starting to notice that there's a little...
Oh, he notices the foot problems.
Yeah, but at this point, he also we don't know, but at this point, I think he knows that he saw what he saw in the pictures.
Yeah, I believe what was going through his mind is that
so everything's just starting to connect.
How dare you?
Yeah.
I believe what was going on in his mind was that he was thinking that his wife was having some sort of paranoid visualizations, like she was starting to get auditory hallucinations, and this was before his death.
Yeah.
So he's starting to get like a schizophrenia idea in his head. So he goes to check the attic, right? Directly after he reads the report. He gets sort of an inkling.
If not directly, it's very soon after.
Because that's where he finds the pictures.
Oh yeah, because it's still raining when he goes to the attic.
So he goes into the attic and looks.
I made the point. He puts the rain jacket on, but he doesn't put a hood up and he doesn't do it up. And he comes in, he's wet.
Yeah, and with a ladder that's probably soaked too.
Why that's outside? I don't know, but he goes to the attic.
This
was a cool scene.
Yeah, her manic scribbles,
but first he sees all like the pictures of old like timey scribble pictures of like
very like Burn the Witch era sort of paintings.
Some were that, stuff. Some looked older and like torturing of women, like they were hogtied and shit. Like really.
How do you pronounce the name of her thesis?
Oh fuck! Wasn't it just genocide or something like that?
Like
gynocide,
like gynecologist.
Is
that same root word? It's women, women doctor, but women killing. Yeah, so I think it's gynocide.
So, like, what was her original thesis
on that? So it was exploring the history of like people who would just kill women for being women,
and then somehow it turned into the women were inherently evil.
Yes,
and deserved it.
Yeah, and her kind of just siding with the men or something, or just it became an obsession. We could say.
Well, yeah, that's what. Yeah,
it's hard to believe, hard to understand what she kind of believed, but we understand that this is why he didn't like her thesis, because he confronts her the next day with he does a role play where he says, I'm going to pretend to be Satan or something, or nature. I'm going to pretend to be nature.
And she assumes that he means like Mother Nature.
Yes, at first. And she's going to play the role of a rational thinker or just rational in general. And yeah, that's just a great little conversation they have that I won't be able to recite at all because
well,
it's
it gets to the
written.
point where she's like, how are you going to install fear? And he's like, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
And she's like, nature can't kill. And he's like, I'm not that kind of nature.
Yeah. I'm the
and
nature.
she's like, well, nature is green and outside. And he's like, well, I'm nature of men.
Yeah.
I'm nature not only outside, but I'm within. And she's like, oh, that kind of nature. I did my thesis on that.
Yeah.
So she doesn't even fucking catch on.
And then that's when he starts interrogating her on the thesis, and she starts to sort of agree with the genocide.
Yeah.
The
and he's like,
side.
so you basically started your thesis, and you believe that all these people in the 16th century deserve this. Because even later he comes back and he's like, do you not realize how many innocent people get? And this chapter ends with, where does he see the fox? Oh, he sees it. He's outside. It might be after he found the thesis, because it might still be raining. I don't know. But what the bushes.
Oh, this is when she says she's cured, no?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Because she just wakes up and
we wake up the next day
outside.
Yeah. She
jumps
goes for a
in
walk.
the river.
Yeah.
Starts like humping the ground.
Yeah,
Not really, but like just loves it.
But she was thinking it. And she just goes to him and just be like, oh, you cured me. You're really good at what you do.
And then she gets mad again. She's like, why aren't you happy for me?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I agree with the way that Willem's character is.
Oh, 100%. I'd be like,
He just didn't say a fucking word the whole time. It just was observing.
Me too. Even if I wasn't a therapist, I'd be like, that was fast.
We're gonna wait this one out.
But yeah, that was creepy, because then she completely changes when he doesn't agree with what's going on.
Exactly.
She's like, you can't be happy for me now that I do
and the power dynamic starts changing a lot more too. It's the scales of justice are shifting.
And then he sees the fox, and the fox is eating its belly.
Chaos always reigns.
Just chaos reigns.
Damn it.
It was close.
Damn it.
That's what notes are good for.
Damn it.
Right? Chapter 3. Despair.
Pain.
We just did pain. You never listen. Grief, pain, and despair.
Which one's the fox in the constellation?
Pain. That's why we just did pain, and it ended with the fox. Now it's despair.
The crows?
Maybe. Crow.
I'm trying to think of the first animal. The deer. Wow. They were in all the chapters.
Oh, apparently this is when he goes into the attic.
But it makes more sense our way, though.
Well, sure, it's just whatever.
Doesn't it? Because he confronts her about the thesis.
Pictures of witch trials, kind of the book with writing. Oh, the book was cool too, because it's like just
coherent
very
writing.
Coherent, less coherent, and then all of a sudden it's like a word a page.
Yeah, just scribbles.
But it's just a scribble.
Yeah.
I wonder. I kind of want to like pause it and see if any of that
is
actually like
legible.
Interesting things to read. Because there's even when he first looks in her big giant ass book, there's a lot of writing.
Yeah,
in that.
very much.
They break the sex rule again at one point. Oh, she says one of her quotes is, "If nature is evil, women are evil," and that's when he's like,
"Because women are nature."
When did you think that? Yeah. She's like, "Hit me," and this is when we get one of the coolest, like, visual scenes, and not just because it's a sex scene.
No,
she wants him to hit her, basically to like forget shit, because she's crying.
Yeah.
At this sex scene, because all the other ones were for her.
Yes.
I think he instigates this one, because he's like, I can't do this. I'm not your therapist anymore. Because that's how much he is against like her thesis and everything.
Ideology, yeah.
So he's just like, I need to like unwind, like fucking get
on me. So now
me.
he's using sex as a coping mechanism for his anxiety. And I believe we've already been introduced to him having anxious attacks or seeing side effects of anxiety portrayed through cinematography, as it did with her. I think we're starting to see.
Coming, like when the forest is warping or whatever.
Yeah.
Really cool. But yeah, she's like, hit me. He's like, no. She's like, you don't love me. And he's like, okay.
Maybe I don't.
Yep. And she bolts it out of the house.
Yeah.
Not very scared at this point.
No.
And
bottomless
and
with
naked.
a top, or just fully naked?
Completely
That's
naked,
right.
which is even more of a
exposing.
Well, yeah, because not only are you where you're fearful, you're completely what's the word I'm thinking of?
Exposed to the elements. I don't know what else.
But you're very
vulnerable.
Thank you. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And she goes right, and it's funny because as crazy as this scene is, this is the scene where I was like, man, that's dangerous. Middle of the night, you ran into the forest, and like you're gonna get eaten by a bear.
She's spreading
and
her
she's
scent
making noise,
everywhere.
So she goes to this tree. It's not the dead tree.
It's the bramble.
No, I know. It's not the tree that she keeps, visioning.
No. Not the one with the personality.
This one has a shitload of crazy roots.
It's like bramble.
Is that a type of tree or something?
You're going to have to Google it. I can't explain it to you other than saying bramble. But bramble is what it is, but I can't explain what it is.
It's the tree.
It's bramble. He's looking it up,
yeah,
ladies
I
and
am,
gentlemen.
because...
BRAMBLE, bramble is my name for me. Images.
It's a cocktail, all right.
No, it's not a cocktail, though I would love to... Fuck. Oh my God, he
berries.
eats it.
That tree was not a berry tree.
Now, type in after bramble, no space, GHAST.
GHAST.
This is Brambleghast the Pokemon. Is that not exactly what it is?
Really?
Is that not exactly what it was?
No.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she goes to the foot of this tree. She just starts, going at
DJing.
it. Yeah, she starts DJing herself.
And there's no one in the audience, but she's just doing it for herself, I think.
And the lighting is really cool here because it's almost like there's lighting pointed at her, but almost like they green screen cropped it around her.
Yeah.
Like there's no light around her, but she and him
it's cool.
is lit up because he comes out.
Yeah, he comes
hits
out.
her a couple times, and then you've got if you've never seen the movie, this is the cover of the movie when it pans out.
Yeah.
You see him doing her, and then there's just all these fucking hands coming out from the roots. So cool looking.
Just great imagery.
Now, what did you think those hands were?
Imagery.
Do you think it was just a metaphor for something and it wasn't actually happening?
Yes.
Because at this point, they've already introduced the witch trials. So I'm assuming maybe there's an evil in the forest that's been taking over her.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, honestly.
Just more not
psychological.
So comedic and
Yeah, this whole movie takes a whole psychological path. But yeah, no, I thought that was just imagery. I didn't think it was something actually happening in the world.
Okay.
It's left for the different interpretations of what's going on.
They go back to the house. She starts doing shit to the fire, and she grabs some wood, and she finds the autopsy report, and she's like, what's this? He's like, it says autopsy. She's like, would they find anything? He's like, no, nothing abnormal about his fall, but something that happened or had been happening prior to that. And she's like, what? And he shows her a picture, and her one picture, shoes on him in this photo. And she's like, oh no, that's so weird. Yeah. And then it flashes back of her
forcing the wrong shoe onto the kid while the kid is crying with the same exact cry that they used in the previous scene. Jesus. No, sorry, Antichrist. Yeah, they used... It's the cry that we heard.
Okay.
From her flash when she was retelling a story of when she heard a cry in the forest.
So you think she was just imagining that cry from that?
Other way around. She was imagining everything else and not the cry. The cry was the only real thing.
At that point, when she was putting the boots on. But when she was running through the forest looking for him and she was hearing
She wasn't actually running.
You mean crying?
She never cried. Only Nick did.
No, I know, but when she was trying to find him, you're saying she wasn't running through the forest?
Yes. I think she was forcing the boot on in that moment. Well, the dual personality. The other her was. In her mind, he was kind of... So when he came to the conclusion of... You had an emotional event or you heard something and you tied it to this forest. So you thought that the forest was that event. So you're tying the two... You're tying a very... scary event that happened and tying it to the forest and blaming it on the forest.
Okay.
So,
interesting.
In her true personality, she was running around the forest looking for her son that she heard crying. In the actual reality, she was forcing the boot on. Well, the other her was forcing a boot on, while the true her is disassociating.
Oh.
From kind of my little jab at it, my 2 cents.
I wonder if you could see his feet in the scene when she does find him in the shed.
Check the shed? Yeah, I'd be curious too. And I would argue to say they were normal or something.
No, they wouldn't be normal, because that would probably take place like...
The disassociation, I say, would make them normal. Because it's like a fantasy she's kind of putting in her head.
Touche.
Yeah.
Touche.
Yeah, could be either or. I wouldn't be surprised.
At one point before this is when she says the line, sisters could start a hailstorm, which comes back.
Yeah.
I think she just randomly says it when they're in bed or something.
Outside. No?
Something like that.
I thought they were outside.
It's just very random when she says it.
Yeah.
Because the first time she even said it, I was like...
Yeah, she got really witchy there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, these sisters.
Yeah, she says the sisters of something or other.
Yeah.
Like, she was really into that witch stuff.
Tales of the Crypt Keeper.
At this point, she starts
Was that a good
freaking
impression?
out. It was pretty good.
Thanks,
Not
man.
too shabby. she starts freaking out more to the point. How do they get to the shack? Are they fighting and then
the
have
love
sex? Yeah, basically.
Oh, you're right. How do they get to the shack?
He shows her the picture. Oh, no. I remember.
Okay.
He shows her the picture, the one picture.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the shed to look at the other ones and compare.
Yeah.
And they're all the same.
Yeah.
And as soon as he puts them back, this is when she barges in and she's like, "You're going to leave me."
And
this is when he's like, "No, I'm not. Like, what are you talking about?"
Cuckoo?
And then they start having sex.
Yeah.
And then she gets back up and fucking...
She does violence upon to him to get him to the ground, no?
I mean, it's violent, but it seems kind of...
Yeah,
like in a sexual way at
well,
first.
No.
I
think she just straight up tackles him when she barges in. Because they're on the ground. He's like, "No, I'm not going to fucking leave you."
Well, yeah, either way, they're fighting first,
Okay.
and then it turns into sex.
She forces
so
some sex
it almost
onto him.
seems like okay at first, but then she just randomly gets off him and grabs the log.
Yeah, well, he was flaccid. I don't think he was into it.
No, he wasn't, because right after
Later, after her action. Before he was complete, she doesn't.
No, she does that because it's hard.
Oh, is that
she
right?
She looks over and she's like, "Oh, well, I might as well finish the job, I guess."
Well, yeah, after she did the
That's
Big
what
Bang
I mean.
bazooka.
I think she barged in, and he was like, "Okay, she's crazy again." But as soon as she started having sex, I think he let his guard down a little bit.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so she got off. She got a big log, and she smacked him right on the head of the to a
Not
hammer.
even on the head, just like on that, like a pogo stick.
Like a spear.
Yeah.
A pogo stick, did you say?
Yeah.
You throw pogo sticks
Well, because it was downwards.
Right.
Because he was lying on the ground. That's what sucks even more. Like he was up against a wall. At least if he was standing, he would have been it would have just pushed him. But it was just
My only gripe with this movie: why'd he pass out after that? He got knocked unconscious after a log to the groin.
Dude, she hit him hard.
He went unconscious. You would go, ooh.
No, if that's what I mean though. Like if you're standing up and I smack you, at least there's nothing behind you to hit the impact more.
Yeah.
If you're lying on the ground and I take something and go down on you against the floor of a cabin or
what
the
are you saying?
shed.
He hit his head? From the recoil? From the shock?
Well, there's like nerves down. I've seen people pass out from just getting smacked in the nuts or kicked in the nuts.
From a therapist, that's kind of iffy.
I mean, I don't know how
That's
he
all I
stayed
gotta
passed
say.
out for as long as he did. Maybe
Yeah.
that's the question you're asking.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yes,
Even that.
That I'll agree with, because she's literally drilling his leg.
She performed surgery on him.
Well, first she sees his wee-wee's still good to go, so she finishes it, and man, that was hard to watch.
Blood squirts out.
Yeah.
Chlamydia. It's a shame. She should get herself checked.
Oh, Clamato.
Mott's Clamato came out.
Yes. we'll say that just so it's easier.
Yeah, to monetize.
So yeah, she runs into the next room because I guess at this point the only thing in her head is that he's gonna leave her.
Yeah.
So she sees like a grinding wheel.
Yeah.
Like that big rock fucking thing.
Like a Flintstone stone.
No.
Like the wheels they use in the Flintstones.
No.
And she had
Don't do it.
She had puts an
Did
axle.
you know what she was gonna do with it when she
No.
first went over there?
No.
Me neither. I had no fucking
The
clue.
old ball and chain.
Because then she starts taking it apart, and I'm like,
what is she
what?
doing? Bob the Builder, can we do
Is
it?
she gonna hit him again with
yeah.
something bigger? No. She gets an old school not screwdriver, like drill.
Yeah.
But like the one that you crank with a hand.
Yeah.
Starts drilling into his calf.
Yeah, just the side of the calf. Sticks her finger in it to complete the hole.
I love the way that they did cut off the real body from the fake, because it's looking from above but from an angle, so that the toolbox is kind of hanging over his midriff.
Yeah, in the foreground.
Yeah, so that it's fake legs and then Willem Dafoe on the top.
There was actually a shot when she was drilling that his ankle was like in the same shot, and it looked like a very real ankle, and I was wondering how they did that.
I mean, ankles would be pretty easy to make.
You have experience buying ankles online?
I mean, I don't make movies.
No, I'm not talking about for movies.
Oh.
There's other uses.
Okay. So she's drilling his leg, sticks her finger in, and then takes the...
Like rebar. Like just the fucking pole metal rod.
The pole of the wheel.
Yeah.
I know there's a word for it.
Yeah.
Whatever. I've
Axle,
been drinking.
dude.
Is it the axle?
Well, that's what they call it for cars.
Okay, so then that's it. And sticks it through the hole.
Yeah.
So that he basically has a wheel on the inside of his leg.
Yeah, and then she puts a bolt, a nut.
Big ass bolt.
And throws the wrench under the house.
Oh.
Which I love how it comes back up again.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
She has no idea.
Yeah.
So that's another reason.
No, when he finds it.
Oh, that's cool
yeah.
too, yeah. And when he wakes up, he does such a good job of someone waking up in that state. 'Cause he starts like shaking and shivering and like he's in pain. And I don't know how he does the rest of the shit he does. 'Cause he crawls all the way to that fucking foxhole, and then basically just it was a smart move because it was the only move he had.
Yeah.
But he was not getting out of that hole.
No.
If she didn't find him, he would have just died there.
This whole sequence was like, I imagine since they were putting so much time into him getting away from her, I'm like, he has to come out good out the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
But I had no idea how he was going to do that.
Did you think anything of the fogginess of outside at this point?
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
So it was the first time.
Yeah, it was fog.
Well, did you think like any metaphor?
More so that the evil was becoming more present, that nature was becoming more chaotic.
I thought that, and she's getting hazy. It's more of her other personality taking over, herself. So it's more of a dream state now again.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, there's like, I really had no idea where. Usually I can kind of imagine like, oh, this is how he gets out of it, but there was no other characters.
And
no other characters
road.
Can come in to save him and do a Deus Ex Machina, and fucking swoop in and save the day. It's just him and her, she and him.
And they walked to the cabin through like forest.
Yeah,
there was no road. They had no car. He's hiding in a hole.
Yeah. He's hiding in a hole. Some crows start chirping, and he realizes he has to hammer fist a couple crows so they shut up.
Well, it's just one crow. It keeps coming back to life.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
I thought a second one was buried underneath.
No, this is Despair.
Oh, that's great.
Which is funny because all of a sudden he learns how to use matches.
Yeah, he was having trouble lighting the fire.
Yeah, when he finds the thing in his pocket, the medical thing, he's trying to light the fire. So he's trying to, because I even made a comment, because when he lights it, you could hear other matches. I'm like,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Why'd he give up on the first try?
Yeah, Jesus.
Like,
well, practice makes perfect.
Exactly. But then he starts looking for a lighter, and then he's like, oh, here's the child thing.
Here's the child thing.
That's what I mean. Like, was that trying to foreshadow too later on?
It's not foreshadowing. It's introducing a set piece that you'll lose. Chekhov's gun, yeah.
Because then he starts hearing something in the hole, lights the match, and the ground is just moving, and he pulls out a wing, and then a crow fucking comes out and starts squawking, which is weird because it seems at this point like the crow's against him, like it's trying to give away his location.
Yeah.
But at the end of the movie, it seems like they were on his side because the crow starts telling him where the wrench is.
Oh, I wonder if that's what the crow was doing.
Well, yeah, because when it's squawking at the end, when she says later on, you're going to die, but not until the three beggars come here, she's talking about those three animals. And when they show up, at first it's just the deer and the fox, and he hears the crow under the floorboard.
Yeah.
And that's why he starts banging it and finds the wrench. So the crow is showing him where the wrench went. It's like it was apologizing. Sorry for snitching on you before. Here, you can get out now. Even though he doesn't remove the bolt.
I probably don't interpret the animals as ever helping him out, even in that instance. But I can appreciate that point of view.
Then what did you think they were doing through the whole movie?
Psychologically abusing him. Just fucking with him.
At first
it seems to be that pattern that they really like to dive deep into how far they can push a person before they break.
Well, that's what I mean. Like the first time we meet them, it seems like they're not on his side.
Yeah.
But then after the 3 chapters, it seems like they are kind of helping him. And then at the end, they're just kind of standing in the forest, looking like ghosts. They're like,
yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you for killing the crazy bitch.
Thank you for playing.
But yeah, at this point, we skipped ahead a bit, but he's in the hole. She buries him alive, basically, and then kind of flips back to her nice side and is like, no, I love you. Come back, and like unburies him, pulls him out. She's fucking strong.
Jacked with this fucking piece of cement hanging off his leg, too.
You know how heavy an unconscious person is? And she's not
like
jacked or anything.
That's the demon.
Yeah. The mother strength. Because at this point, she's like, sorry, you need to help me. Because she keeps saying, like, you said you're going to help me.
Yeah.
It's like,
but she doesn't set him free She doesn't feel bad
No,
enough
she brings him back to the cabin. Yeah, and then the other... It's almost like the two... It's almost like she just gives into it, because at this point, she's very calm, and he's like, are you just going to kill me? And she's like, nope.
Not yet.
We're just going to wait until the three beggars, and then I'm going to let you die.
Yeah.
She doesn't even say she's going to kill him. But then, the three beggars show up. How does
witch in the wardrobe.
How does he get her unconscious? Because she gets unconscious somehow to give him enough time
You're
to
missing...
take... Oh my God, yeah.
I made a gesture to Brandon to remind him of the scene he's missing.
That's why. That's why it's missing.
There's another sex scene.
Yeah.
But more of like a mutual sort of masturbation scene. Right? Because there's no penetration.
Just of fingers.
She uses his hand.
Yep. Because at this... Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Yeah. My mind was pushing the scene out of...
And this is when... This nightfall happens by this point, no?
Yeah, it's nightfall, and this is when she basically, I think, admits to herself that she let the kid fall out the window.
Yes.
Because that's why she cuts off her...
Yes, because we're getting a flashback scene, and this time not in black and white, so we know it's happening for real. And what really happens...
I think it was still in black and white, but it shows her watching him go out the window.
It wasn't.
Okay.
I might be bullshitting, but if it isn't, it should be, because this is... The black and white is
the
always...
The only thing I remember about this time...
Every time. I'm standing up.
Well, no, the only thing I remember about this time that was different was the deer was there. Did you notice that?
No, actually.
Yeah, when he falls out the window, the deer's standing behind him.
Oh, I was masturbating by this point.
What's the deer again? Pain? No, not pain.
Despair.
No, that was the third one. Grief. So why would grief be standing there already? I don't know.
It's just one of them. Or, well, it's the most resemblant of a mother and a child.
Mm-hmm. But it shows her watching this fucking happen.
Yeah.
And she kind of makes it happen with the feet.
Yeah.
Because he fell because of his... It doesn't show it really, but I think it gets to the point like he loses his balance. And I guess that's sort of a call to Satan's hooves, maybe?
Wow. I mean, sure.
Nature is
Satan's hooves. He doesn't always have hooves. I call them hooves.
Hooves? I like that.
I like them too.
Was it in color?
It should have been. If it wasn't.
Did you notice anything else during that scene other than her watching?
Just her watching.
And this was during her
watching, and yes, while she's masturbating and she's thinking about it. Well, she brought scissors over.
Mm-hmm. So she already knew she was going to punish herself.
Oh no, she's going to fucking cut his pee-pee off or circumcise him or something.
No, he wasn't. Oh yeah, he wasn't circumcised yet.
No, yet. What? He never gets.
Well, if she was going to. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. But she decides to beat him to the punch.
And circumcises herself.
Yes. And grotesque.
Ow.
Full. She DJs first to get the button flashing, and then she.
Oh, that's why she does that.
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was just
it's been a while for you.
Well, no, I thought it was one last hurrah. Like, well, it's gonna go. I might as well.
It's been a while for you, hasn't it?
I don't have a hurrah to play with. So
oh. Well, her went oh. And then she goes and says ow, and then
did she just pass out?
Yeah, she just goes to the corner to sleep. Or no, she gets up because I remember seeing blood in between her legs.
Because she stabs him with the scissors. They fight again somehow.
She just gets up. Yeah, I wonder if... Oh, that's when that's when the three horsemen, I almost called them.
No, she's passed out when they show up.
Because he and grabs the wrench at this point and starts taking it off. And when he's almost done taking it off, she gets up and stabs him. So he finds the wrench under the floorboards because Crow is going...
That's why he pulls it out without finishing.
Yes. Oh. And he gets the bolt to the very end, but she just stabs him with the scissors, and then he pushes her away, I guess.
Yeah, he just wants to get away, so he just rips it out.
He just rips it with the bolt and all. But then she's like surprised after that.
Is she? Oh, I remember.
She kind of stops, and she's like, oh no. She got a little scared.
Good.
And then my vision went hazy at this point. Because she cast a spell on me, and what the fuck happened?
Well, no, he gets up and chokes her.
That's it. That's right. Oh,
I don't think there was anything else.
No, there wasn't.
Let me check my handy dandy notes.
You said handy dandy, but you didn't say notebook.
I said notes.
Yeah, but that's what Steve from
Fucks
Blue's
him,
Clues
smacks
say.
dick, hides in foxhole. She digs him up. Chapter 4, 3 beggars arrive. One last orgasm, flashback, child death, bye-bye clit. literally reading I was running out of room, so I had to.
I thought you were just naming your fucking song names.
No, they're like little chapters.
I thought they were song names you were theory crafting.
Yeah, so beggars arrive. He frees himself. Yeah, and he just chokes her. That was a crazy scene.
I think he actually choked the actress.
There's no fucking way. Because her eyes were hanging out of her face.
I think...
And if it was a dummy, then that was a good dummy, too.
And I want to call that company so I can get one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an intense way to end it. Although we do get the epilogue. Is that what it's called at the end?
Or if you want to use the French word, epilogue.
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 Such a nice accent that I wish I could do, but...
The one I just did?
French.
I thought that sounded horrendous.
I didn't say you sounded good. I said the accent in general.
Well, you had a chance to say I sounded good.
But we have the epilogue.
What happens in the epilogue?
He's walking through the forest or hobbling.
Oh, that's right. And he just gets really curious about some berries and starts...
Was he hallucinating?
I think he was...
Because that's a berry. What would you call it?
Bramble?
The bramble.
Bramble. Brambles do have berries. Bramble
cocktail berries.
Are those brambles?
Flowering plants, rose family.
Well, I don't think they're hallucinogenic berries.
Oh, it's just the name for raspberries and shit.
Oh, look at that.
But maybe there is a type.
Brambleberries?
Because it's pretty random that he eats those and then sees thousands of women just flocking towards him.
Maybe.
Which I thought were like the ghosts of...
Christmas past.
Yeah. But witch killing past.
But it was just modern outfits.
Yeah.
Modern women.
Or maybe he was dying.
Oh, okay. So, well, did you notice?
I'm just trying to go through all the possibilities. Notice what?
The color grading on this shot?
It was all black and white at this point. So I thought it was just ending like chapter-wise.
It's happening within someone's mind.
No, because the opening when they're having sex is black and white. That's not in someone's mind.
It's in her mind. Because the events that happen are not true events. She's not watching him fall. She's having sex. But that's not actually happening.
So, no, she watched him fall as she was having sex.
No, because
they're still having sex later, but she's looking directly at the kid.
Not in the opening scene in black and white. She never looks
No,
over.
I know. But when she says that she watched him fall, they're still having sex as she watches.
And it's in full color.
So you say. I'm pretty sure it was in black and white.
It wouldn't make sense. This whole thing that I'm crafting wouldn't make sense if that's the case. So it's in full color.
I think you need to start taking notes.
Von Bubenhuberman needs to take notes from me. So because it was in black and white, every time they're walking through the forest, every time she's recalling a memory of walking through the forest, it's in black and white. It's all happening inside someone's mind.
Okay.
So that's not happening. That's a metaphor. It's a manifestation of what's going on inside that person's mind.
I'm so glad we're near the end of this movie.
And developing a fear even, possibly for women. And maybe now he hates women. You ever think about that?
No.
Okay.
That's another option, yeah. I like it.
He hit her.
She asked.
Oh, you got to do everything a girl tells you? I don't even know what stance I'm taking at this point.
And that's the end.
And that's the end. And
Oh, no, he burns her.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
a witch.
He burns her like a witch. Because she was a witch. And he proved it.
She was Satan's nature playground.
He tied cement to her feet and said, if you swim out of here, you're a witch.
No, he didn't do that one. He did the funeral, the fire pyre. The
fire pyre.
On the dead tree.
Fire pyre on the dead, the bramble.
The bramble. Yeah, the Pokemon.
I don't know if it's a tree.
I don't know if it's a Pokemon.
Because it just looks like a bundle of sticks in a ball.
Well, no, the pole in the middle was. He did put sticks and stuff because it showed him laying it on her or whatever. Oh, it showed him a couple times laying it on her. Oh, stunt cock.
Lay some pipe.
Stunt cock. Stunt cock.
Stunt cock.
Okay, I heard you.
I know, it's a reference to a movie.
Simpsons?
And they keep calling it out as the guy comes to set.
Stunt cock.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's from a movie called Orgasmo.
Oh, that's the fourth in the Depression trilogy.
No.
Nymphomaniac.
It's
Antichrist.
a movie with the guys from South Park.
I was close when I said
Trey
Simpsons.
Parker plays a... what's the religion that walks door to door and knocking? Hi, have you heard of our Mormons? Yeah,
missionary.
He's like a Mormon.
Yeah.
And he accidentally knocks on the door of a porno set.
Oh.
And their main actor just quit. He was a superhero that has a gun that gives people orgasms, so they hire him. But then he becomes the real Orgasmo.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but then every time, because he's Mormon. He doesn't want to show his pee-pee.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they have to bring a stunt cock. So every time they need him, they're like, stunt cock, stunt cock. We need a stunt cock. Kind of like Blackening when they're doing the telephone. He's coming behind you. He's coming behind you. He's coming.
Right.
So yeah, that was Antichrist.
And what did you think of the Antichrist?
It was better the second time I watched it.
Okay.
You really have to be in the mood for this kind of movie.
Yes. It's slow paced. It's
Don't
a lot
be
of slow-mo
tired.
shots. Don't be tired. You're gonna have to be watching, listening, looking.
Yes, it's good.
It's
I
a
liked
great
it.
flick.
I'm probably not going to watch it again for a while.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I could have. It's not going to enhance my life in any other.
If you could put a few numbers that don't go over the number 5 to
I would say.
this
Well,
movie.
what would you rate it?
I'm asking you, Mister.
That didn't sound like you were asking me.
I said if you could put a number that
shit.
doesn't go over 5 to represent.
I'm gonna say 3 falling babies out of 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why? And I'm going to say this. Why so low?
I don't think my mind. It's not this kind of movie. It's just so much of it was slow and
needed more zombies.
I actually didn't think it was gonna end like that. I will say it was a nice surprise at the end because I really thought it was just gonna kind of just be a non-horror movie. Like I just thought it was gonna be
just a
like a therapist and his
sort of
patient.
Yeah.
No idea she was gonna do the shit
turn
she
into
did.
a killer.
Maybe 3.5.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just not my kind of movie. But for what it is, I know it was really fucking good.
Yeah.
The cinematography and music was really well done. I even mentioned to you when we were watching it, we complained with movies like It Follows and shit when they use the droning music.
Mm.
This movie was a good example of how to rightfully use it because it wasn't all of the movie.
Yeah.
It was like during her anxiety or when she was kind of out of it or shit like that.
It just perfectly kind of fits into the scene that they're shooting.
They knew how to use it.
Exactly. They utilized it perfectly.
Rather than being like, oh, we're having a very suspenseful scene, so let's just have a noise that gets louder.
Yeah, like hyping up to like a big reveal, and then there's a phone ringing.
Yeah, I think 3.5 is good.
Okay.
Pretty much the same as IMDb. It was 6.5 out of 10. So about the halfway.
I've always called you the IMDb Randon.
Brandon, dude. IMDb.
IMBD. You did. IMB, comma D. I'm not going to rate this.
No, that's not how this works.
And let me explain why. It wouldn't make sense to me to rate this how we rate other films, because standalone as a movie, as a film, I think I always take into account like viewer retention. Other than what? You were just balancing your microphone on your thumb as you're just going, and it's jiggling around on your thumb like you're balancing a broomstick on the open palm. No, you have to, like a broomstick. It's a good book. I would read this as a book and love it. And it's a 5 out of 5 as a book.
Okay.
Take into account how movies... See, that's the thing about the rating system, is that you have to objectively say, this is how a movie should be shot, and this is how a movie shouldn't be shot, at least in my kind of mind, my rationale for rating something. And it doesn't feel right for this movie to say, because it breaks a lot of rules. For example, breaks a 180 rule when they're filming. That's a big no-no, but they're using it to their advantage, and they're doing things that shouldn't work for a film and making it work, and they're utilizing a lot of things that are normally cheesy and making it work. So they're breaking a lot of rules, but they're still making it work. And so it's hard for me to put a rating on this, because this shouldn't be how movies should be made. It's super slow paced. There's way too many lingering shots. The audience retention is not going to be there. This movie wouldn't sell. And yet it works.
Well, why? Because it's artsy. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a not American film. What am I thinking?
Non-Hollywood?
Yeah, but
Indie-pendant?
Sure.
I mean,
that's why it's not a movie.
Non-Hollywood movies in America could be indie movies, and still,
I know, that's why I'm trying to. But
indie.
Sure.
That's what it's.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's still a movie, but the way you're saying,
yeah.
you're too brainwashed by the whole, like, what a movie should be. A lot of people would see this as a movie.
I believe this is a movie. I believe this is not how a movie should be shot. This shouldn't be replicated because you won't nail it. This can only exist in this movie.
Okay.
And I'm sure a very select few of others that are shot like this. Do not film your movies like this. Do not shoot it. Do not follow this pacing. And yet it's a good movie, and I'm glad I watched it. But I'm not going to watch it again for a long time, as you said, because of that watch retention sort of
So what's your
dynamic.
rating?
It's hard to say because it doesn't... Good movies I would watch again. This is a good movie. I will not watch it.
There's a lot of movies... When it comes to serious issues like this... sometimes movies aren't made to be watched again because it's such an intense feeling that you don't want to feel. That's what I mean.
They dared not put a joke in this other than Freud is dead. Stop fucking around, is what she said.
So he gave it a 4. That's cool.
I'm going to say it's a good movie and you should watch it.
All right.
But don't learn anything from making movies from watching it.
I don't know.
Because I'm going to get upset at you.
All right.
Guys... We love and appreciate you very much. Now, I wanted to ask you guys, the viewers, you listening, yes, tweet at us and tell us what to change because I need to get a little strange.
Oh, dear. Okay.
What?
I don't know.
What did you look up and say,
crazy.
oh, dear? Or
I'm trying to think of the name of what this movie is when it comes from a different country.
Foreign.
Thank you. It's a foreign film.
Okay. You happy?
Yes, because, like...
He literally, guys, I'm going to reveal to you now what he just Googled.
Ringu.
Ringu.
Because I was assuming it would have said foreign film, but it just says horror thriller.
Why did you add the U after?
Because that's what the original one's called. The actual foreign one. If I just put the ring, that's the American version.
You're saying it's called Ringu?
That's the original.
You're right. It's just the katakana for ring. So it's just the way a Japanese person would pronounce the word ring.
Whatever.
Which is funny.
There are DVD covers with it on it.
And that's great. I should check them out.
Yeah, you should. We should check it out.
Check it out?
Yeah, we should check the Ringu out. I've never seen the Japanese one.
Junji?
That's the grunge? Come on,
that's
man.
it.
You should know.
I thought that was the ring.
No, that's Ringu. We just went over this.
Guys,
who's on first?
Guys,
who's on second? I don't know how that goes.
Who's on first? Who's on second? And who's on third? The triplets. They all got
fourth,
the same name.
and fifth. And why are there so many bases?
Because she's always playing steady. She's always, is that what it's called in the 80s? When I'm going steady. My girl won't give it up because she's going steady. Guys, leave us a tweet and just let us know how you're enjoying things, what we can change. Are our levels good? I don't know.
If they're not, I'll fix it.
You'll fix it.
What do you think of this crazy-ass movie?
Did we not?
You out there on Twitter.
I thought he was asking
you,
me
Steven.
again. I thought it was in a time loop.
Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
Don't follow us on Facebook.
I don't want you guys to because we're not on there.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Spotify, Apple Music. You guys are already listening. So how did you get here?
Check out our OnlyFans. It's right over there. It's the only fan here.
And it's not even oscillating, guys. I want to tell you that. That's when it... Okay.
Spins?
Yeah, kind of, but like not all the way.
Just like 3... No, that's 180?
Did you know in one of the Paranormal Activities, they hook up a camera to an oscillating fan and that becomes the new thing? So it just pans left and right in the room. Snooze fest.
I already see the scene.
Yeah.
It's like a baby cam or some shit.
It's like watching Smile, but in Paranormal Activity universe.
That's crazy. Leave us a review. Stars.
Where?
Anywhere. Spotify.
Tell them where.
Apple Podcast.
Dude, write about us on your blog.
And tell your grandma.
Why?
And your crazy wife.
She's gonna get angry.
Not if you tell her about this podcast.
Guys, your wife won't get angry if you tell her about it any longer.
It's like one of those hunger episode or commercials.
I
Come on,
you.
Listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
You're always mad when you're hungry. I don't know. Damn it, I fucked it up.
Henry?
Oh, Henry. Isn't that a Snickers thing?
The Book of Henry. Isn't that a horror movie?
Who is Henry? Book of Mormon.
Oh, interesting.
Book of the Dead. Satan.
Necronomicon.
Santa. They're the same guy. Bye, everybody.
Just the words.
And don't forget.
What?
Don't cut off your mama.
Because you'll lose all the air out of you.
Yeah.
Did you know you could blow a girl up?
Oh my god.
Like like a balloon, dude. You could only imagine.